Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. Today's topic is how to retire by 30, at 30, when you're 30. If you've seen my other videos before, I will tell you now, I try my best not to baby you. I give you the information and then we kind of go on from there. And I tell you this because this is something that myself, I've done, so I know that it works. I know I've seen other people do this as well, so I'm here to pass on the information to you. Once again, not here to baby you, but I will let you know exactly how it can be done. And if you do it, I assure you will also then be able to essentially retire, not have to work, as you cross the golden 30. First thing you have to do, and this is usually the most important, difficult, important part as well. And this will probably be the largest hurdle for... So imagine you're walking down the street. It's a pretty clear street, and at some point you see a mountain. The mountain is the first step, and after you get over that mountain, it's a little rocky, but you can still walk over it relatively okay. You need to completely change your mindset when it comes to money. Bam. You have to understand that money is there for you to make more money. Money does not control you, you control it. You have to figure out that you don't need to buy things that you don't need. You have to start learning how to save, and you have to really understand that if you work diligently enough, you will get there. And I mean as far as, and this is another kind of topic that I won't touch too much on right now. I'm sure you've seen the videos of the people, I saved for 10 years and I'm super rich. I did so and so. And I've watched some of these videos with friends and they go, that's not possible. I'm sure they had the money from somewhere. No, you have to understand. If you really commit to something, and I'm sure a lot of you have also committed to other things in your life, if you really commit to it, you can get there. If you save, if you invest, if you understand how money works, if you stop babying yourself, if you stop treating yourself like a little dog, you will get there. The first thing after that mountain, and I leave that part alone because I think it's an actual journey of self-discovery. I used to be one of the most materialistic people. I can't explain it. Anytime I had money, it went either to luxury goods, things that I didn't need any of that stuff, and I still bought it because you, especially when you're younger, you try to impress other people. You don't tend to think about where you'll be in 10 to 15 years. You can only think in that moment. I want this now, it's nice. I want to go do this. I want to go out drinking with my friends. I want to go out on a party. If you can get over that hurdle of... And the problem also is that these are very first world problems. You have to take a step back and really understand how privileged you are to be even thinking of, I want to go out drinking, I want to go out partying, I want to go on a cruise, I want to go to this, I want to go to the Bahamas. There are people who are eating dirt right now just to have food in their bellies. But yet, please, by all means, go buy the new Ferrari that you don't actually really need. It's going to take a lot for a lot of people. If you feel like you can jump over that hurdle, then, you will do just fine. The second part, easiest one, is to calculate your monthly expenses. I've mentioned this in many other videos before. It is going to be a continuing trend until everyone out there really gets this. A lot of people assume you need an enormous amount of money to be able to do this. You do not. You have to calculate what your monthly expenses are. Once again, going to be a common trend. Figure out if you are overspending, which many people are, and then you'll come out to a nice round number, and that'll be your expenses. A lot of people are shocked. If you've ever done a balance sheet, look how much you've made, look how much you've spent, you typically, why can't I make it to the end of the month? And then you start looking through all of it and you go, oh, because I'm buying crap I don't need. Look through your expenses. Look through your bank account balance on your online banking. All the times you went out to eat, all the times you bought shoes, all the times I can't think of every single scenario for you in your life, but you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Calculate your actual monthly savings, and that's all the money you need to be able to actually survive, to be able to retire early is not the 5,000s, it's not the 10,000s. It's usually a lot less, especially if you end up scaling back. The other part is to reduce your expenses. Ties directly into what we were just talking about. I can't help you live your own life. I can only guide you on this journey. I used to have a problem where at the beginning, middle, or something of the month, I used to have to go to the store and I had to buy jeans. I had to buy a new shirt. There was a party I was going to with my friends. I didn't want them seeing the same shirt that I had worn 4.5 months ago that they didn't even remember. I had to buy something new. I had to buy new shoes. I think at one point, was I buying hats? I don't remember what I was buying. I was buying a whole bunch of nonsense. And it really hit me around 2009, 2010 when I was moving from one place to another. And I realized half of my closet still had the tags on them. Even more so, as I ended up throwing most of the stuff out or giving it away, I think it would have been too painful if I had actually looked at the actual tags and realized how much money I had essentially wasted. Because, things like that come back to haunt you when you get a little bit older. Not saying that I'm older, but, older from where I was. Because then you realize all the money you could have put into other investments, into stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, crypto, and it kind of shocks you. The thing that you should be looking towards doing, or how to do this, is if your expenses are around $2,000 per month, relative round number, I give $2,000 because why not? I know people who have expenses of $950 because they live in this place, or people who have an expense of $3,000. I give you $2,000 as like a why not number. You should be looking to create over the next couple of years at least 3, if not 4, sources of passive income that will continuously give you money from different directions. It could be anything. I have multiple videos on passive income. You can go look at them. We're not here talking about exclusively passive income. It's talking about exactly how you can be able to do this. Because when you have that 2,000 number and you break it down in either 3 or 4 ways, this means that from the other passive income sources, you only have to be bringing in $500 a month from these other sources. And this is entirely doable. It's doable in about a good 2 to 3 years because I've built up businesses online. You can do it in about a year. But once again, I'm also a little insane and I really if I have a goal, I hit it and a bit too hard. However, 2, 3, 4 years, you can easily build up businesses. And once again, we're talking about how to retire at 30 or in your 30s if you are relatively young-ish, i.e., if you are 20 and you're trying to retire by 30, congratulations, because this is going to be one of the best videos you ever see in your entire life. This is completely doable. It takes about a good 5 to 6 years of diligent work to really do this. And I mean, you have to sit down, be honest with yourself, and you can totally conquer it. I promise you. If you're around 25 and you want to retire by 30, might be a little bit more difficult, still entirely doable. I promise you. When I started my eBay business in whatever year, it took me a year, an entire year, to make around anywhere from $1,800 to $2,000 per month. And even more so, when we can even get into the discussion of just you quitting your active job, i.e. you quitting sitting behind the desk working for somebody else. If you also want to take this video that way, that also completely works as well. If you're deciding that you want to, my monthly expenses are $2,000, I want to make $2,000 per month from an online business, from an online so-and-so, which I also always recommend. It's entirely possible. It doesn't take a long time. I think a lot of people really don't understand. If you slice down the extra stuff that you don't need, the stuff that you keep buying, you probably have more than enough clothes. If you're watching this video right now, if you look behind you in your closet, you're probably doing fine. You don't have to buy any more clothes. You don't have to buy a new car. It's a lifestyle change that you yourself have to get used to in order to be able to do this and actually execute the actual plan. Because if at some point you decide, I like being materialistic, I like driving this car I don't need, I like going on parties, I like going on cruises, all this other stuff. And it's not even to say that you'll never, ever, 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 ever be able to do those things again. Just take a really big breather. And the best time to do this, I would suggest, and I've told other people as well, is to do this as early as possible. A lot of people think when you're young, you got to live your life, you got to go out and party, you got to have, that's nonsense. I am very happy that during the course of my 20s, all I did was keep on saving and keep on investing. All those parties, those extravaganzas, those boat rides, those trips to the Bahamas and to Portugal, I'm fine because I can do those all by myself right now. Whenever I want, I can get into a plane right now. I can go anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world I want to. And that was because I sat down, paid attention, saved, and now I'm good. You may have noticed it got darker in the room. It was very dramatic as it happened as well. I filmed with natural light, so apologies for the shadows creeping in as I was doing it. The point is, even if you are, take it this way, if you are 30 and want to retire by 35 or 40, and find yourself in that situation where you're going to have to get over that mountain. You are going to have to. I have friends, family members, people in my life, they never got over that initial hurdle. They never got over that. I don't have to buy everything. I don't have to keep up with the Joneses. I don't have to FOMO into every single thing. It's okay if you miss out on an event. It's okay if you miss out on a party. If you ask most of your friends, like, think of it this way. Part of the FOMO comes in that people are like, oh, I don't want to miss this party. What if something crazy happens? Ask your friends 6 months later what happened at that party. They don't remember because nothing usually actually happens. You know this as well. When you go to these events, go to these parties, it might be kind of fun. You might, have a little dance, but then it's over. It's just like every other party. Like nothing extra, like aliens didn't burst through the ceilings and take away all your friends. Like no one was there like, hey, here's $1 million. Here's $1 million. It's just a party. It's totally fine. You don't have to eat out with all your friends. Like there may be like an inside joke that your friends tell at that one event, but there will be other jokes. You can get past all of it. Like I find myself, and this is me, having so much more fun with my friends, knowing that I can hang out with them because the next day I don't have to go to work. If that makes any sense at all to you. I have this thing in my head where I know, just realistically, because I don't have to work the next day, like I don't consider YouTube like work because I actually enjoy doing it. But just knowing that I don't have to get up when they do, to do their 9 to 5, I go to sleep great. Because I know that when I wake up, I make a video for the other channel, and then I work on this channel, and then around noon, I'm like, all right, can do whatever I want. I'm telling you, it's possible. I promise you. Like I want people just to listen. My whole body was shaking. You should have seen it. I just want people to really understand so that they can get it. Like you don't have to work for someone. You don't have to slave for the rest of your life. You don't have to worry about, oh gosh, like I'm never going to be able to retire. It takes a couple years, just a couple of years. It's not difficult at all. I'm going to move on now because I got stuck in that thing. I guess I was also just screaming this a couple of seconds ago. You need to understand, you do not have to be a millionaire to retire. All you have to have is enough in savings and enough in investments to be able to bring in enough money to cover your living expenses. If your living expenses are $2,000, and you figure out you can lower them to $1,700, and there's a lot of simple ways to do this as well. Turn off your cable, turn off your satellite. If you need to watch something that desperately, get Netflix. Watch free movies on YouTube. Like, you're not going to be missing anything, I promise. I'm pretty sure you'll have a friend who can be like, hey, every Friday, let's have a movie night in my place. Oh my gosh, you don't need that car. Cars are expensive. The amount of people pay for petrol and the insurance and the damages and oil and all this other stuff, it's nonsense, and you know that it's nonsense, but something in people's minds continuously tells them, like, I have to keep doing this. Like, I have to. Do you want to be? Nobody wants to retire at 65. I remember learning when I was young that I had to work from 18 until 65. And then I got to go frolic on a beach somewhere with my cane and my aching bones as the wind got too windy. And I was like, that sounds terrible. And people were like, yeah, but that's how things are. And I was like, no, that doesn't make any sense. I don't want to, first of all, no, none of that sounds correct. Imagine working a job that you hate for the remainder of your young life. 65, and also in a lot of countries, the retirement age is also increasing. So I think I said that in another video. If you're expecting to retire by 65, 67, got another thing coming for you. You do not need millions to retire. You just have to have enough investments to be able to cover that. And even more so, I'll make it easier for you. If your goal is to make or have an eBay job, account, business, something online to make 2,000 from, you can even make that your goal to make 1,000 per month. If your expenses are 2,000, you can lower them to 17. You can make 1,000 per month from that online business, and the other 700 from passive income. You've lowered your passive income goal from 2,000 to 700. You will be perfectly fine. The other great thing is that when you choose these investments, logically, mathematically, if they're a good business, if they've been around for a long time, the value of that business, that stock and bond will increase as the years also go on. So you're also still gaining net worth, as it were, going up, and your dividend then also increases as well as the number of stock that you also have in that company continues to increase. It's a never-ending cycle of making money, and it's not difficult. You just have to start somewhere. If you are 20 right now, I'm telling you, in earnest, just start today. If you are 25, start yesterday. If you are 30, get it together. It's time to start. If you are 35, same exact thing applies. It may be a bit more slightly difficult as you get older. You'll be fine. I promise it is completely doable. I promise you. I promise. The next thing on the list is because I keep seeing this posted around as well. There's something called the FIRE movement. I think I'll make a separate video on it at some point. The idea is FIRE stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. I agree with 99% of what FIRE has to deal with. The one part for FIRE that I don't personally agree with is the idea that your investments, you should be able to live off of them, gotcha, by withdrawing 4% of your investment per year. I think the idea is you make more percentage-wise from your investment every single year, and therefore you taking out 4% of it will be totally fine, because in the long run, your investments will still go up. I don't believe myself in withdrawing from these things. This is why I like the passive income aspect. The idea is, for me, you want to make sure that you are getting dividends, you are getting stocks, you are getting bonds, you are getting staking cryptocurrencies, whatever you feel comfortable with, or you are getting some type of real estate that is going to continuously pay you. I don't like the idea of taking out from what I have as opposed to it showering money on me every single month. That's just me. I've watched a couple of other videos times ago, where they're showing couples who have done the entire FIRE thing. Like if you type in like FIRE movement, you'll definitely be able to find it. And they've gone that route that I just said, where both of them saved up like maniacs. 4 or 5 years, managed to buy 1-2 different properties, nothing too extravagant, but they had lowered together, even if you're single, works just as fine, lower their living expenses as much as possible. I think the husband on one of them got a bike, and the wife was just walking to work. It was like 12 blocks, and she was like, I'm more fit than I've ever been, and I get to work early, and it's all this blah, 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 blah. They decided to buy property in their area. So all they have to do at the beginning of the month, I think one of them they walk to get the actual cash from the person because they want to pay in cash, and the other one gets deposited to their account. And also on top of this as well, they also had they made like blogs and vlogs, and they were teaching other people how to do it as well. Like it's just this gift that kind of keeps on giving forever. So even realistically, like when you do this and you manage to retire early, you can also tell other people it's possible. You will be a story to tell them, this is how I did it. You can also do it. Because I desperately don't like the idea of anyone. I don't think your life should be spent working. I don't think you should be behind a desk with someone yelling at you. I think the last thing we all need is to wake up at 5:30, 6:15, dreading waking up because we know that we're going to have to sit at a desk or do something we simply don't want to do. If you find yourself lucky enough to be in a position where you love your job, you are the 1%. Because just about everybody I know has a job because they need a job, or they have that job and they're making okay money, but they dread going to it every single day. You don't have to do this. It's just about severely cutting back, changing your mindset, essentially changing a lot of stuff about you as well, and building up wealth, as it were, to get away from the rat race. I think I mentioned this before. I recommend, like always, start an online business. Online businesses have completely changed my life. You might have seen other videos from other people where they're also talking about this. There's something incredibly freeing about being able to either make content that goes online, to be able to sell ebooks, to be able to sell comic books or whatever on eBay, just to do stuff at home in the comfort of your own home. There's almost nothing like it. I would recommend, as I've done before, start an online business, because this will also help you. You'll learn how to manage money more. You'll learn how to make money more. You'll also be bringing in extra money that also gets you to that goal a lot faster. You're not explicitly required to just simply have your job. If you find during the days you have extra time to sell socks, to sell t-shirts, to sell comic books, to sell, what do people sell? Whatever you can sell to make an online business, by all means, it also helps to do so. Having this extra income, if you find yourself making an extra 300, 400, 500 per month from your side thing, that you can throw into stocks that are dividend stocks, why not do it? Like, why not accelerate the process even further? It's just something, it's almost like a no-brainer. And I also always recommend just having your own business. There's nothing more freeing than having your own business. Like, you are your own boss forever, for as long as you choose. And that the extra money that you continue making, you push into other investments that continue making you money. And it's this non-stop loop. Your goal is always should be to live off of your investments in the simplest form and everything I was just talking about. I think I've exhausted the topic, as it were. Maybe I myself am just exhausted. It's not difficult. I promise all of you. Best thing is to accumulate assets that are paying you either monthly or quarterly or tri-quarterly or every 3 months, every 4 months. Accumulate these in mass. And even if nothing else, if you look at some of the richest people in the world, when they started investing, a lot of them, didn't Warren Buffett start investing when he was like 40 or 50 or something like that? The money that you start putting into these investments now, even if you don't plan on explicitly retiring in 10 years or 5 years or really crunching it, even if your time frame is 15 to 20 years, your investment portfolio is going to be enormous over the course of that same time period as well. It's just mathematics, it's compound interest, and it's growing money. Like, you have to start somewhere. If it's $300 to $400 a month and that's all you can afford, start investing it. It will grow into something that you can't even begin to imagine. Even think of it this way. $300 per month, $3,600, $300 per month over the course of 10 years is $36,000. That's still a lot of money. If you're actually putting that over the course of those 10 years into an investment that gets you anywhere from 3 to 6%, you obviously want 5 to 7%, if not plus, on your investments. You're going to have a portfolio anywhere from $60,000, $70,000 equivalent. That's still a huge amount of money for you to be able to buy your first property, to be able to, logically at that point, you would have it already in stocks, so just leave it in stocks and continue putting more for your retirement. It's totally possible, I'm telling you. If thou haveth any questions, please ask me in the comment section below. If I missed anything, if you feel like I didn't cover something enough, if I should make another video on something, another topic, tell me. I'm always glad to help. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon. It's possible. You don't get it. Like, you don't get how possible all of this is. I advise you also right now, look up FIRE videos, FIRE retirement. Google that, YouTube that. You'll find it in a couple of seconds. And the interesting thing is that it's not just me who's done it. It's not just like 3 other people and we're like, yay, we did it. There are hundreds of thousands of people who have joined this movement, if you will, and they've all retired early. Like, it's not something, like, they're not special. They just put money away, cut back. Even crazier, some of these families have like 4 or 5 kids. That's the part that got me. The fact that you can save all that money having kids, you deserve to retire. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.